All right, we're waiting for the click. Afternoon, you guys. Good seeing you. We're waiting for the click. All right, there's the click. I'm starting to get a hang of this stuff, you guys. I mean, things are changing. I don't know if you guys got the notice today. Facebook has said that if you have live videos, they are going to start deleting those videos. Their new storage thing. I mean, they're going to squeeze money out of us any way they can if you want additional storage and all that other stuff. So if you guys aren't aware and you've got old live videos that, you're at a family reunion or a party and stuff like that, they're giving you an opportunity to download it before they get rid of it and I guess start charging you for additional storage. It is what it is, Democratic or Republican, it doesn't matter. Corporate parties, they're both owned by corporate interests. Okay. Hey, I'm Donovan Sadiq, nationally known as the Recovering Democrat. Today is June 5th, 2025. It is 12:36 p.m. Thank you guys for the kind comments on my appearance at City Hall. I got a lot of good feedback from fellow residents here about what I said to the mayor. And you guys just don't know the corruption that has been normalized in this country. It's unbelievable. And the reason why I'm outraged more so than probably you guys are is the mere fact that the biggest bribe of a public official in FBI history happened in my city. This is why you guys see me go up there and give them the business and do what I do. A lot of people, they keep telling me, oh, Donovan, since you got all the answers, why don't you run for office? I did. I ran twice. I ran in a special election, and when you run in a special election, nobody really knows you. So you're kind of forced to run in the regular election where you have more time to do your campaign. A special election pops up, and then you got to like scramble, and everybody's scrambling to get the position. And they don't really know who you are. They don't know what's happening. The good thing is, in that special election, if people had known that the person that won was a bank robber, I would have been the council member because there was only two of us. It was just me and her, and then there was a recall of the sitting council person. And, it was a big, all these council members here in my city were all caught up in this FBI bribe, and they had that suspicion over them. And the council member in my district that I ran against, she was under that cloud as well, but there was no wrongdoing found. So let me say that there was no wrongdoing found for my council member at that time. Right. So anyway, let's get to it because I don't want to take too much time. I got some stuff I've got to do. That appearance at the city council, I got a lot of good positive feedback on it. You guys know I'm kind of used to getting emotional and really letting people have it. I mean, I don't go crazy. No, I don't do all that. But I really get loud and I really emphasize what I'm saying. And, for those of you guys that don't know why I am dealing with this guy, it's deep. Corruption goes back deep. He's bought by the developer that owns my city. And it's just really bad. So now when people say, why don't you run? I have ran for office. I did not win. And in the second election, the council member that was recalled got her seat back, okay, because there was no evidence of malfeasance on her part, and she was put back on the dais. And unfortunately, we mended fences, and unfortunately she ended up passing away. And I can say that council member, she was an advocate in the city as well, but I can say she actually did for her people, and she did for the district. The difference is, and you have old school politicians like that, she didn't highlight what she did. She kind of did stuff behind the scenes. That was her style. She was a behind the scenes, old school type politician. She was really an advocate. That was her main job. She was a student advocate, community advocate. That was her job, but she did a lot of stuff. She was a business owner. She was very accomplished. I can say that she's very accomplished. And we had our differences, and we, talked out a lot of our differences, mutual respect. And now her daughter is the council member in my district. And, when people saw that I didn't come at the daughter like I came at the mother, they were like, "Oh, Donovan, you sold out, blah, 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 blah. You came at the mom, and why aren't you coming at the daughter?" Well, here's the thing. You can't blame the children for the sins of the father or the mother, can you? And if you do, you shouldn't do that. That daughter has to stand on her own accord, and she has stood on her own accord. And I don't have any issues with her. Do I agree with everything that her daughter does? No, I don't. We have significant differences in, warehousing and, things of that nature. But I can say a lot of stuff that she's doing in the district, I don't have an issue with. I just don't, because, we're a neglected area of my city. We're one of the oldest neighborhoods. We're one of the original districts that formed the city. And she's done a lot of work under her tutelage. She is her mother's daughter. So I have no issues with her. There isn't any corruption under her. Her family name is, well known in the city. Let's get back to her mom. Her mother actually had a case that went all the way to the Supreme Court, and she won. And it gave us the right to say whatever we want to say at city council meetings across the nation. This is how deep this stuff goes, you guys. I mean, I'm serious. It is deep. So let's get into the bones of this. I ran twice, whatever, and I wasn't successful, but I am more successful at being a community watchdog. I and others in the community, I've been here for a very, very long time. I'm not going to sit here and say I have not been propositioned with white envelopes, and I don't know what was in those white envelopes. But I am more effective as a community watchdog. And I'm not always right. I do what I believe is right. So I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, everybody should follow me and I know whatever." No, I really pretty much talk about my district, because we're neglected, my area, and and the city as a whole in general. And it's very hard when you're fighting against billions of dollars in money. This is what we're dealing with. The WLC project, that's a $3 billion project that this guy expects to make money. This man bought council members for, let's say, less than $1 million in local elections, and his return is tens of millions of tax dollars that is putting infrastructure into his property. Now, again, my council member's uncle, if you guys watch the video, he talks about the corruption. And two, three, four things could be true at the same time. He talks about the corruption, and he's not wrong. Everything in the agreement that this developer promised he was going to do, he hasn't done. We don't have a technology center. We don't have the things that he is supposed to do, but yet $10 million so far of infrastructure has gone into his property, which raises the value of his property, and yet he hasn't built this project yet. And I'm not mad at the developer. If people are going to be that stupid, if I have to invest $1 million to get 16 million back, that's business. But see, when people like myself and others come in and make this developer spend more money than he anticipated, what else can you do? So this is why it's deep. And I got a lot of feedback in regards to my appearance at city council. For those of you guys that have been asking me, POS, use your imagination. stands for piece of shit. That's what it stands for, piece of shit. So for the POs. But I want to talk about real quick is Jean-Claude Pierre. I believe she was the Biden press secretary. She has become an independent. Now, Jake Tapper had a book out, and he attacked anybody that questioned Joe Biden's cognitive abilities, even though it was apparent to everybody that, you know, this guy was not there. Now, the press secretary, the former press secretary, who also gaslit all of you guys, all you Democrats out there, because I haven't been a Democrat since after Obama left office, with the disappointment I got with that. But all the gaslighting that this woman did, now to come out and say, you know what, I'm now an independent, and she's trying to distance herself and make money off of this, much less all the money laundering that the Democratic Party did under the Biden administration with all these nonprofits. Not one of you guys have come and said that we're really hitting me hard, saying, what's wrong with Donovan? Oh my God, how dare he, not be a Democrat? How dare he not support Kamala Harris? I told you guys Kamala Harris was a bad candidate. And that is from my experience of living in California and seeing what she did here. But see, a lot of you guys that don't live in California, I give you guys grace because you don't live in California. You didn't experience a Kamala Harris AG experience. I did. I knew who this person was. You didn't. Yeah. So here's another high-profile Democrat that is now jumping ship and trying to distance herself from all the gaslighting that I was telling you guys, other people were telling you guys, and now you guys are all silent. You guys act like you're not in the politics anymore. All of a sudden, you guys don't know anything. But you guys were calling me everything but a child of God. Hey, Shaniqua, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. My dog, Benny, is a year old this month. So he's right under me. He is very mature now. He's maturing. So he isn't doing that puppy stuff where he's running around and I've been spending some time with him, and he's getting it. Like, he stays under me, and he's kind of more chilled now a little bit. So he's maturing. 65 pounds. He's growing too. So pit bull. But that's what I was saying. All of you guys were coming at me and unfriending me, calling me everything but a child of God. Oh my God, Donovan, how could you? Blah, 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 blah. Trump is going to do this. We're going to be in slavery. The 2025 plan, all this other stuff, this gaslighting and this fear mongering. Where are you guys at now? All of everything that, not everything, but a lot of what I said and what others were saying about the Democratic Party is true. And now you're seeing high officials within the Democratic Party acknowledging what we were trying to tell you guys. And now the Democratic Party, if you guys saw the video I put up earlier from Sabby Sabs, she's on YouTube, I follow her. The Black Misleadership have no plan. Jeffries, they asked her, he was on this show on CNN, and they were asking them, they grow up fast, but this guy here, very destructive. But Jeffries, they have no plan. They have been all these months, there is no pushback from the Democratic Party, which is what I told you guys. This is the plan. They act like they're fighters, but they're not. They're on the same team. And not one of you guys have come back and have apologized or, hey, Donovan, I was wrong about that. Like I said, my job is not to make you a non-Democrat. That isn't what I set out for you to do. my job was to make you an informed voter. And now you guys see, sometimes the very people, if you don't vet these candidates, are the very people that work against you. The Democratic Party refuses to do anything for Black people. So people say, well, you're going to upset the status quo. As a Black person, why would you want to uphold a status quo that keeps you as a Black person at the bottom of it? Of course I want to upset the status quo. That's common sense. Shaniqua says, yeah, Kamala wasn't a good candidate. People really need to do their research. People will tell you anything to get your vote and then get in there and forget about the American people. Shaniqua, forget about the American people. Forget about Blacks. The Democratic Party cannot win elections without the Black vote. A third of the Black vote is the reason why Kamala lost. And all of this is coming out now. They didn't offer Black people anything. When Joe Biden got in there was because of the Black vote. And what was the first thing that he did? He gave the Asians a crime bill. He can't win an election based on the Asian vote. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Black people, we have power. But look at the misleadership that we keep voting in the office that does absolutely nothing for us. And then in the Democratic Party, especially, you have Black misleadership dying on the throne. And failure left and right. Karen Bass failed in Congress. Now she's in LA giving everything to the Hispanics, nothing to the Blacks. Barbara Lee left Congress, did nothing there. Now she's the mayor of Oakland, a town that's been bombed out by Democratic policy, and she's going to be a failure there. You know, it's just a crazy type thing. So I just want people to understand, my job is to make you an informed voter. I'm not telling you everything that I'm saying is, you know, solid gold. I'm saying research what I'm saying. Research what I'm saying. If what I'm saying is such BS, go research it and then make an educated decision for yourself. Isn't that how you're supposed to do your term papers and stuff? You're supposed to cite your sources, then you go from all of those sources, then you come to a conclusion in your paper. Am I correct about that or am I wrong? I just have 12 degrees and I've written a lot of papers. Shaniqua says, yes, that's true. And she didn't even acknowledge Black people or be Black herself unless it benefits her and then she's Black. Yeah, it's insane. But what's really sad, Shaniqua, is us as people, we don't mind these people abusing us and bending us over with no Vaseline and, you know, doing that and getting nothing for our vote. And then we turn around and vote for them again. But when people like myself, you, and other people are ringing the alarm saying, hey, wait a minute, look at, you know, let's do our research, let's think about this, we get shafted. We get ostracized. We get uninvited to the barbecue. It's sad. It's sad. And we have midterms coming up. And the Democratic Party's policy right now, their strategy is vote for us because we're not Trump. Their strategy is they're hoping that the Trump derangement syndrome is going to be so deep that people are going to vote for them anyway. This is the problem with the two-party system. You don't have enough options. And this is where we're at. So I want to give you guys that thing. Thanks you, Shaniqua, for joining me. Don't forget to check out Demetra K and I on Sundays, which you usually do, and watch the back stories and stuff. And yeah, you guys, I mean, I'm glad, you know, and I see some of you guys that were crashing out hard for the Democrats. Now you guys are a little bit chilled now. Now some of you guys are kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on? What's happening? You guys are starting to question, you know, what's going on, because you don't want to look like a fool again, you know. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep telling you guys, don't tell me nothing about national politics if you can't tell me who the mayor of your city is, if you can't tell me who your council person or alderman is, you can't tell me who your district attorney is, or your sheriff. Don't tell me nothing about your politics national politics if you can't even tell me the politicians on the local level? This is how we need to educate ourselves, you guys. And for those of you guys that are just too prideful to admit you were wrong, I get it. I get it. It's hard to know, you know, and have to say, hey, I was wrong. Donovan, you were right. I was wrong. I get it. But trust me, I'm looking at your comments, and you guys are sure enough sounding totally different than you did during November, just before November of last year. You guys are sure sounding different. And all you feminazis out there, abortion, the right to abort your children, that's reproductive rights. The definition of reproductive has nothing to do with abortion. I'm just saying. You should have the unilateral right to delete your children. Yeah, that's awesome. Very logical. I even have female friends that are feminazis and they're homeless. They don't need no man. Not at all. But they're homeless. When I see a homeless woman and her children, first thing I think is, yeah, you need a man. I got female friends that are facing foreclosure, but they don't need no man. They rather pay 100% of a mortgage than 50. Yeah, it's amazing. So anyway, you guys be blessed out there. Be safe. If you're in the desert like I am, be hydrated. If you're down in the south and back east where the humidity is very humid, you still got to drink a lot of water. Yeah, so again, join us on Sundays for the Demetra K Show, and we'll be talking about more politics. But isn't it funny how all of these people are starting to jump ship? I had nothing to do with that. Jean Pierre, the press secretary, she was the main gaslighter, the main one. Jake Tapper, main gaslighter, attacked anybody that asked if Biden's cognitive skills had declined. For those of you guys that have been riding with me, you know, for a while, I know whatever. Give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and family and all that other great stuff. So we'll see you guys later. Got a lot of stuff to do. You guys be safe out there, be blessed, and be educated. Read. I don't care what your sources are. Gather a bunch of sources and come to a logical conclusion. That's all I'm asking you to do. All right, you guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Tomorrow, anniversary of D-Day invasion. For those of you guys that have grandfathers, great-grandfathers that participated in the invasion of Europe during D-Day, many thanks. Talk to you guys.